LDNRBS. We have another guest in the building, guys. We have another guest. Melle Brown is in the building.
Yo.
Super clap, guys. Super clap. Hey.
Okay.
Yay. Right, so let me take it out first. A producer.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself from the start. Tell us about yourself.
So my name is Melle Brown. I'm a music producer, DJ, and radio host, and I represent radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I make music. I produce music, and I just recently released my debut EP, Blossom,
Nice stuff.
in March. And
Nice
I'm just loving life.
Mm-hmm. It is a unique thing. I saw you tweet out the other day, in fact, saying the emphasis on the female producer.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I've noticed, like, a lot since I've released my music, people will say, "Oh, she's a female producer," and that's okay because I am female.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna
Shy away from it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm female, but at the same time, like, you wouldn't say, like, Sons of Song said two male producers. You know what I mean? Like, you just say they're producers. End of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we kind of need to get more females into the production world. So it's not a she's a female producer. It's more of a, she's a producer and it's sick. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of emphasis on the female, that's the thing that I'm a bit, wary about, because it's like, regardless of whether I'm a female or not, I can still do the same job and still,
Do you feel you have
make
to
an impact.
like, prove yourself more in comparison to like any man?
I feel there's like a lot of pressure in terms of, but that just came from me myself in terms of actually releasing music, because I've been saying I produce music for a long time and people be like, oh, okay, cool, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like because I don't know, but I feel like because I'd built that up, there was quite an anticipation on whether it was going to be good or not. So that's, I think, where that came from.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to say too, with producing, like, I would love to produce something. I would love to. So I want to know from the start, what made you actually pick up whichever software or instrument you picked up and said, you know what, I'm going to start going into this production side. Tell us.
So when I was younger, I used to go to the Roundhouse Studios, and they've got this program where you can, like, learn all different skills, and production was one of them. I remember I was like 13 and I kind of lied and said I was 14 to get on the production course.
Real.
So then I started off on Ableton,
Yeah.
and I learned all the ins and outs of music production and studio techniques and stuff. And then I was also studying at the Brit School, musical theatre, so I was thinking, it got to a point where I had to make a decision whether I was going to go into musical theatre or acting or music production and music. And I took the jump to go and study a music production degree.
What was that? What was the defining between the two?
I don't know, I just kind of analysed myself and, maybe the roles and the casting that I'd be put into. And as much as I love musical theatre and acting, I just thought, you know what, like, I think I stand a better chance with my music because it is more unique and it's quite, it's a mixture of soulful house and hip-hop, and do you see what I mean? So I thought, let me just go for the production, and I loved it as well. That was the main thing, like, I really had a passion for it. Although I was shy, it was kind of like, let me just go with it and take the jump. So,
What was the first song that you produced? Genre, like, I want to know. Let's go with
First
that.
song I produced was called Heartbeat.
Heartbeat, there we go. Send that
Wow.
to us.
Yeah, that was not a banger. It was alright, Now I listened back to it and I was 40 years old. I was like, this is not too bad. But it was, it's funky house kind of. It had steel pans and like 120 BPM. It was very interesting, we'll put it that way.
Any producers that you would look at and say, you know what, that's one of my inspirations?
So I love Nerd, Pharrell, and but one of my main inspirations right now is Kate Trinada, because I love the way he has flipped, just changed the game.
Really,
really.
a high five from it's okay.
High five, yeah. Just love the way that he's kind of changed the game with his sound. It's so fresh. It's so a mixture of house and hip hop and soul. It's just incredible. So Kate Trinada and the whole of Selection team.
Yeah.
I just look up to them greatly.
Most definitely. Got a quick got some questions out here.
Cool.
Timbaland or Pharrell?
Pharrell.
I'll ask you too. Tim and Pharrell.
It's a hard one.
It is
I
hard.
would say Pharrell as well though. Yeah.
Kanye West or Swiss Beats?
Swiss Beats.
Kanye.
She's going through something right now. Jay Dilla or Kanye West again?
Jay Dilla.
That was very quick.
Definitely.
That was very quick. Even your boy in the background was just like, yes. Yes, she must have said yes. How you saying, Jay Dilla or Kanye?
I'll stay with Kanye.
Kanye. I hear that. Right, so, Blossom EP.
Yes.
Now, tell us, okay, I want to know from the very start, even like in terms of inspiration for it.
Right.
Tell us Blossom EP and the name behind it.
Okay, cool. So starting off with the name, Blossom, I felt it kind of just came naturally actually, because I was thinking of a name and I was thinking, oh, what could I call it? But the fact that I feel like this year I've really kind of come into myself and blossomed per se.
How old are you again?
I'm 21 in August.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, you know, I thought to take that step and actually, instead of talking about my music production, like I need to show, you know, what I can do and just release the music that I've had sitting there for ages. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's kind of where the Blossom name came from, and I felt like it was really time for me to, like, you know, blossom into the person that I am and, you know, the feelings and experiences I've gone through and put it into the music.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where the inspiration for Blossom came from. And I decided to write and work with artists that people may not have heard of before, who I thought was really talented, because I love like finding new artists and like I'm into A&R and stuff like that. Like I'd love to do that eventually at some point in my life. But so I had to try and bring in these talented people who I knew. There's Danny Wells, Yolanta Rosetta, Carice, Mr. Benjamin, and loads of different musicians, Samuel Elliott, Jack the Sax, like so many, Sean Andrew, like all of these people that I was surrounded by. I thought, why not use what you already have instead of going to like the people that are, you know, say bigger or more forefront in this world, show the talent that's underground and up and coming. So yeah, that was where that came from.
Nice. And also, I wanted to say this. You're 20 years old.
Yeah.
Now, you produce and you've got your own radio show. I want to know just the mentality. But how all of this is happening at such a young age, so you're making these things happen. I want to know what kind of person you are, just as a whole, to make these things happen.
Okay, well, I guess I've always kind of been very driven and creative, and we kind of just fell into the radio. It was something that, you know, came alongside uni, and I just thought, I always loved radio, and I always like was listening to BBC One Extra, Twin B, etc. And I was just like, oh, this is great, like. But I never saw myself as a presenter as such. So it kind of just happened organically. Myself and my co-host Blue Canarino, like he's in the room. We went to we're at uni together, and he's a producer as well. So we was in the pre-recording room one time, just practicing, and it worked, and it flowed naturally on the mic. And we're both really passionate about music and like, you know, our production, so it just flowed really naturally. So yeah, that's definitely something I'm seriously passionate about now. Like before Represent, I didn't see myself as a radio host as such, but the two really gelled well together. Like even on our show, we've got this feature called Who Sampled, where we play, you know, the sample that's, you know, used mainly in a track, like for instance today it was Kanye West, and you know, we go into the depth in the background because we are producers. We're able to, you know, actually give the detail behind them tracks and just give the listener a different perspective. So I think that works really well. So yeah, we just kind of fell into that, and then alongside, you know, we're both DJs as well, so it all just kind of combines really nicely.
She's 20 years old. I'm just going to say that she's 20 years old, for sure. She knows what she wants. Also, and talking passions. One thing I've definitely seen in a series of your tweets, you talk about the influence God has on you. I want to know what the influence is for you. Just
in terms of my faith, I just believe that it's important to always, you know, not undermine God's path for you, and just, you know, work as hard as you can and be thankful for everything that you have now. Not, you know, looking to, oh, I want to be the most successful producer in the world. Do you know what I mean? It's about the steps, and I feel like every day is a new step and a new challenge. And you know, if you get through that day, that's an achievement. Do you see what I mean? So it's just more about having faith and, you know, being thankful for what you have right now. Because last year was total different life for me. Like I've progressed a lot. And yeah, I think that's just down to like perseverance and having faith in his plan and, you know, pushing on. So
the word of this show is faith. I'm going to say that. The word of this show is definitely faith for sure. Your aims. What is your aims?
Oh, that's a good question. Right now I'm just kind of, I mean, the rest of this year I want to throw events. I think that's the next step for myself and the Brown and Blue show as well. So yeah, events and definitely more music. Like I need to work with. There's so many artists in the UK that I need to work with.
Who
Like,
do you want to work with?
we had a girl on the show today, Ruby Kung Fu. Her voice is incredible. I'd love to work with like Tiana Major, Kari, you know, Shay's Universe. Intellect, other producers as well, like Tom Mish, Jordan Rakai. There's so many people. I could go on and on and on. So yeah, that's so many collaborations that I'd like to do.
Yeah.
It's just about, you know, making the time and reaching out to them people and seeing if we vibe and, you know, because it's not by force. You know what I mean? If the music, if the energy's not right, the music's not going to be right. So yeah.
5 years from now, where's Melle Brown gonna be?
Oh my gosh. Where am I gonna be 5 years from now? I'd love to maybe have my own label, and events company. Really, that's probably, and you know, continue the radio, regardless of what station we're on. You know, I'd love to just develop the brand, and yeah, definitely have an events company and a label of some sort. So yeah, that would be great.
Gotta say, I think we got a little bit of a trend of catching people early before they actually do something. And this is another situation, I believe, for sure.
Thank you, Ty.
Definitely. LDNRBS, we have Miss Melle Brown. Any last words, people? And your socials too.
My socials, it's at Melle_Brown. That's MELLE _ the colour brown. So yeah, that is me.
Most definitely, most definitely. We got 6 in the building coming. Probably in about, let's say, 20 minutes from now. But yeah, LDNRBS, Melle Brown, for sure.